right. Good
Yeah,
afternoon,
absolutely.
everyone. Yeah, I wouldn't be very long. You can see my background is not very appropriate. I'm en route, but I just wanted to take the opportunity to welcome you all to our community of practice. We have been largely doing this for the HR community, but we are now shifting gears and creating a specialized group for our coaches, specifically those who graduated from our Ericsson community. But anybody else would be welcome, to join from any other platforms. We will be sharing with you what we have in mind, and I don't want to steal your thunder, Fabian. So I want to hand it over to you. Most of you are known to Fabian Lutig, who's my good friend and colleague at Rise and Learn and Ericsson. I'll let him introduce himself and then share what he has for us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily. And like I was saying before, it's not like your background is not appropriate. It's just you're busy, you're important. If this was the 80s, everybody would be jealous that you're able to communicate from the car, and it would make you seem even more of a big deal. So yeah, it's all about circumstances. So before I introduce myself, tell me in the chat if you would like to build a more successful coaching business, just so that I know if I'm talking to the right people. Just put a yes in the chat if building a successful coaching business is something that you're interested in doing, whether you already have a coaching business and you want to scale it up, you want to 10x it or 5x it or whatever, or you're just starting out, or you've been thinking about it, or you kind of would like to, but you don't know how to get started. If any of that describes you, then okay. So I see we have the right people here in the room. Absolutely. Okay, so if we haven't met yet, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Fabian. I'm originally from Germany. People keep joining us, which is wonderful. I am a facilitator for Ericsson Coaching International, which, if I do say so myself, is one of the best, if not the best coaching school in the world. I honestly believe that. And I've been living in a bunch of different countries. Right now I'm at home in Kenya and really, really happy about that. I think that's enough. I want to spend too much time on myself, especially because we want to concentrate on this wild ride that we have ahead of us for the next, 52 minutes. I've been told I have 15 minutes less than I anticipated. So this is going to be even more of a wild ride. So if you've ever been on a roller coaster, you know that you really have to focus on where that thing is taking you, right? You have to anticipate all the bends and the loops and the corkscrews and all of that. So if you try to be on your phone while you're on the roller coaster, you're not going to have a good time, neither with what you're doing on the phone nor with the roller coaster. So I would like to treat it as such and to be really present. So put a yes in the chat if you are ready to be fully present for this workshop. Because that, in a way, is already our first point for today. It's all about priorities. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none, right? If you're trying to do too many things at once, none of them is going to work right. And I know we have a lot going on. I know you want to wrap up the week, you want to head into the weekend. I get you, I'm with you. But this is one of the lessons, like if we get more of what we pay attention to, right? So let's pay attention to this. So our business has the room to grow. Thank you for giving me that confirmation. And let's test that, shall we? Let's do a breakout right away. Just warming up slowly. I'm going to put you in breakouts, just small groups, and just share with each other what your name is, what the state of your coaching business is, and what the highlight of your week is so far. Let's start with something positive. Where is my chat? Here's my chat here. So these are the questions. You see them in the chat. What I would like you to talk about in the chat, and really just a minute or so per person. As I'm setting the breakouts. There we go. Okay. As people are already leaving because they don't want to be breakouts. Have fun. Just get to know each other a little bit. Say hi. Get warmed up, and then we'll come back and we will talk about what to do about your business. Oh, there, open all rooms. Now we should see it. So clickety click, go into the rooms. So if you're watching the recording of this, everybody else is in their breakouts right now, so it's just you and me. Thank you so much for being interested. Thank you so much for watching this. Of course, the experience of this workshop is best if you're actually in the group with other people, because the community aspect of what we're talking about will feature very heavily and will be very important. But maybe you can grab a loved one, maybe you can grab a coaching colleague, somebody that you know, and look at this with them together as an example, to kind of recreate this community experience. Or if that's not an option, just grab a pen and paper and write some things down. Really engage with the questions that I give to people in the breakouts in order to, get the most out of this. I really want you to walk away with something tangible from this workshop. All right. Talk to you later. Thank you for sharing that view with us.
Say again?
All right. Thank you for sharing that view with us. Yeah, it really already makes me feel even better. Great. So welcome back, everybody. So let's talk about it. What's holding you back from building an even more successful coaching business so far? Granted, it's not the most solution-focused of questions, but let's talk about it for a moment. So you can either come off mute or type it in the chat. What's missing? I probably you're a lot more aware of what's missing in your particular coaching business than I could be. So talk to me. What do you need to overcome in order to build the coaching business you want? Finding engaging clients. Munira says, yes, I hear you. What else? Networks. Well, are you in the right place? Yeah, thank you, Selma. Confidence. Thank you, Pamela. Having a structure and a place. Time. Yes. Coaching, having to explain coaching, right? Like having to convince people that they need coaching. Nobody's really looking for coaching, are they? Coaching is not established. Yeah. Wonderful. Getting clients and finding time consistently. Yeah, consistency is a big thing. Where to start? Thank you, Mercy. Paying clients. Yeah, that's a good distinction. Very important one. Starting. Yeah, just getting started can be daunting, right? Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. That's a really great snapshot. And I figured those are the things that are kind of out there and that are almost like little gremlins sitting in your neck saying like, no, you can't do this. Everybody else is a great coach, but you can't build a business. So let's shut those gremlins up. So what is happening a lot when we think about these things, when we compare ourselves to other coaches out there and we compare ourselves to where we want to be, is we're in what's called the gap. This is, so of course we want to visualize our ideal, right? Obviously, a lot of you are Ericsson students. Of course, we want to be aware of where do we want to go? What does our ideal future look like? How do we know that we've got it? All that good stuff. Obviously, we want that. But what happens a lot of the time when we then want to put things into practice is we measure ourselves against that future goal. And that's where our psychology, our brain stops playing along. Because what that does is we are always measuring against what we haven't achieved yet. Yeah? It's always this delta. It's always this, I'm not there yet. I'm not good enough yet. I'm catching up. I'm falling behind. All these kind of thoughts that put us into stress response and that really don't allow us to be the most creative person we could possibly be and be the person that our clients need us to be, right? So all these kind of things with failure, frustration, disappointment. Oh man, I learned so much in my coaching. I invested so much money, right? And now what am I getting back, right? And it's just like, oh my God, I'm comparing how much I invested and how much I haven't gotten yet. And it's just like, probably everybody else is making it happen and I'm not. That's the gap. That's where we don't want to be. Yeah, that's where it's very, very easy to fall into, even if you know about these concepts. Where we want to be is in the gain. We want to still, of course, imagine what does our ideal business look like? What does our ideal life look like? But we want to measure ourselves against where we started, or last year, or last week, or yesterday. We want to measure backwards, because that will allow us to see how far we've really come. And so often, that is so much further than we give ourselves credit for. I cannot tell you how often it's happened to me or to people in my life where you have a goal and it's this, there's one book that calls it a big, hairy, audacious goal, right? It's this wild thing and you put effort into it and you reach it and you're there, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I did it, but it's not that special. A lot of other people have done it. And it's like, yeah, you know, I just did it because other people helped me, or I don't know what. Yeah, you put your own light, you hide your own light, you dim your own light. And that happens so often. And then it's this, you have the carrot in front of you and it's like, okay, but you have to go further. This is not enough. Let's not do that. Let's measure ourselves against where we started out. Let's measure ourselves against where we were, because that is really where the satisfaction comes in, the confidence. You really want to see evidence of yourself being successful in order to believe that you can be successful. And whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right both times. Yeah, your attitude, your mindset is a very enabling or limiting factor. And that sounds very cliche, but it's really, really true. And the more evidence you have for yourself of, I've been successful, I've already been evolving, and I've been doing that. I'm actually not starting out right now. I'm just continuing something I've already been doing. All of a sudden, it's so much easier. And that's something that, if you remember, when we do our as-if frames, for example, or our VBSI, we already help our client be there and like start being what it is that they want to be. And then their brain recognizes, oh, I've been doing this already. This is not so hard. It's not something new that I'm doing. It's not scary. This is familiar. I'm just doing what I've already done before, right? That is what it's like to be in the game. So that's where we want to be, especially when we build our business. And this might not sound particularly new, but it's good to be reminded. And in Spanish, there's a phrase that says, the blacksmith often eats with a wooden spoon. Yeah? So we know how to do it. We know what to do. And still, we have all this iron over there. We could make a spoon really easily, and we still eat with a wooden spoon. Why? Let's use the knowledge that we have and that we share with our clients and that we apply with our clients, and give ourselves the gift of living in the game. So let's try that out for a moment. Again, just for about a minute each, minute and a half. If you apply that gain mindset, what have you already achieved this year? It's been what, 6 weeks or so? I can tell you, my last 6 weeks felt like 6 months with everything that I got done all of a sudden by prioritizing and radically cutting everything out of my life that doesn't serve my future self. What have you already achieved this year? And I want you to be in the gain about this. I don't want you to be to go into, oh, well, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. Just talk about what you already have achieved. And even if at first glance you might think there's not much there, there are things there. And where else in your life or in building your business can you apply that gain mindset? All right, 2 quick questions, same groups. Coming back at 30 past, half past. Off you go.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Collins, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Everybody's coming back just now, so we are about to get started again. Welcome back, everybody. I would love to debrief. I would love to hear what you have to say about this, but I know I'm going to run out of time if I do that. So easier, it's nice to think about, right? It's nice to kind of think about that. It's easier said than done in the long term, isn't it? Mindset is a bit misleading because your mind is not just set. You don't just tune it to one frequency and then that's it. We have all kinds of things going on in our life and you kind of have to readjust all the time. And being in the gain is something I can tell you from my own experience that even if you know about it, you're very conscious about it, sometimes even more so, it's sometimes hard to achieve. So what might make it easy, or at least easier? What makes it easy to have a certain mindset and to achieve certain goals without always having to pay conscious attention? Well, let me tell you. So this is you, either like one of the two up there. I'm having a hard time zooming. I don't track is a little rebellious here. Here, you can choose either one, whichever one you like. So this is you. Now imagine you have a friend in your life who's overweight. There is a study that shows if that is the case, your likelihood to be overweight is greater than just normal random chance of being overweight, statistically speaking. What do you think? How much greater is your chance of being overweight if a good friend of yours, a direct friend of yours, is overweight? Put it in the chat. You can come off mute. What percentage do you think will that friend have an influence on you, your likelihood of being overweight as well? Any guesses? No wrong answers. I mean, of course, there's wrong answers, but there's no, there's no bad guess or anything like that. Very much, says Munira. Yes. So much? Okay, maybe 20% chance. Nadia says 60. Okay. 40% chance. Okay. So let me, greater than 50. 20. Let me reveal what the study found. And this was a study over some decades, actually, with a lot of people. 45% chance. So quite a bit, right? So far, so intuitive. If you have somebody in your life that's intuitive, that's overweight, you are a lot more understanding how that might be the case. You probably know a lot more about, it's not always that people just eat too much and things like that. And just by seeing somebody that's overweight, it just becomes a lot more normal to you, right? So your chance of kind of getting there is higher. Okay, again, that's fairly intuitive. Now it starts getting interesting. If in the same study, if you have a friend who has a friend who is overweight, that also impacts your chance of being overweight. What do you think is likelihood of that? So you don't know this friend, yeah? This friend of a friend. You only know the guy in the yellow jacket. You don't know the guy with the donut. But still, him being friends with your friend impacts your likelihood. What do you think that number is? That person that you don't know. Give me some numbers. Also 20%, 15, 25, 15. 25. Yeah, so you're on the right track. So of course it's not zero, right? If it was zero, I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't have gone to the effort of making this. 20%. So right about half, which I think, you don't know this guy. So I was stunned when I read this. Okay, and now you can figure out where this is going. Hello, frame. Don't hide. There. So you can figure out where this is going. Now, you have a friend who has a friend who has a friend who is overweight. You don't know the guy in the blue pullover. You don't know the guy in the brown shirt. You only know the guy in the yellow jacket. What's the number here? Or is there a number? Is there any influence? So it's the friend of a friend of a friend. How much does that guy influence your chances of being overweight? Munira is good at recognizing patterns. Rosemary, 5%, 5%. 10%. Yeah, so you all kind of know where I want to take you, right, with this. So you're really good at the guessing. Yes, 10%, exactly. And yeah, that makes sense if you kind of just look at the pattern. Okay, it always kind of goes half. But think about that for a moment. Isn't that crazy? You don't know this person. You've never seen them. Yeah, you don't even know the person because of whom they're in your network. It's the friend of a friend of a friend. But your chance of becoming overweight is 10% higher because there is this influence in your network. Have you ever heard the phrase, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Well, apparently that was not thinking wide enough, because it's just this one person in your network that changes kind of how people show up around you, and in turn changes how you show up. Okay, let's go through the same thing with smoking. You don't have to guess. You're too good at guessing. I can't surprise you. But 61% if somebody directly next to you or like in your life smokes. And that makes sense, right? That's higher because a lot of people aren't friends with people who smoke if they are very, very convinced non-smokers. So you would automatically not like filter them out. So 61% chance. Wait, I'm trying to hit the right buttons here. Okay, so same thing. If your friend doesn't smoke, but the friend of your friend smokes, still 29%. Again, more or less half. And then if you have the friend of a friend of a friend, that is still 11%. Yeah. Now, Emily didn't like that I was putting these negative examples. They also did a test on happiness. And what is your increased likelihood to be happy if the friend of a friend in your life is happy fully and completely with their lives? And that's 6%. And 6% might not sound like a lot, but on average, there are studies in the US that if you gave somebody a raise of $10,000, that would give them an increase of happiness of 2%. Now, of course, average income in the US is a bit higher than here, but it's still 28 to 30,000. It's a lot lower than many people think. Yeah. So think of increasing your salary by 10,000, your salary by a third. And that doesn't have as much influence on your happiness as is having somebody in your network, just a friend of a friend, who is really happy with their lives. I don't know about you. I find that completely mind-boggling. I find that really, really insane. It really goes to show what social animals we are and how our energies, whatever you want to call it, our frequencies, our attitudes, our magnetic fields, whatever you believe in, whatever you think, there's something there where we really influence each other. Yeah. And we want to make use of that. Like, we want to leverage that. We want to leverage that in helping you build your business, because the answer is not to go and try to do it alone. Because I've tried that, you might have tried that. It just doesn't work as well, not nearly as well. Remember what it was like to do the coaching training together and all of that? Let's have more of that, why don't we? So what we're introducing, drum roll, is the Rise and Learn Accelerator Community. So we can learn together and rise faster, specifically the Coaching Accelerator Community. We also have an HR branch. We introduced that last week. And we really want to build a community of like-minded people who want to be successful, who want to live in the game, who want to be happy while building the coaching business. It's not fun if we're miserable while doing it, right? It's not really about building the coaching business. It's about leading life on the terms that we want to live it. You know, for a lot of us, learning coaching is about helping people. It's about freedom. It's about gaining a second income or gaining income in a way that's on our own terms, being able to work when we want, from where we want, that sort of thing. That's what we really want. Building the coaching business is just a stepping stone towards that. So why not be in the mindset already? Yeah, why not live our future selves already by being around people that have the same plans and that are also learning to be good at that? Yeah. So what we want to give you is masterclasses, Q&As, interviews with global and local coaching experts. You know that we have a really good network with our Ericsson facilitators. One of them is here today. Hi, Nadia. So we can tap into that. We can tap into you guys, honestly. Once you're have the feeling that you have to share something, we want to make it possible for you to have paid speaking opportunities here in this community. We want to pay you for that. We want to have you, like, whatever you find out and you share it with the rest of the group. We want to recognize that you bring value to this group. We want to have in-person networking events. Now, of course, the way from Bulgaria or from Ethiopia is a little far. We hope to have more people there at some point. But for now, that this will be in-person networking events in Nairobi. So we can celebrate all the progress that we're making once a month. And, Emily usually throws really grand affairs. This wouldn't be it would be a lot more casual, right? It would be meeting at a rooftop bar somewhere in Nairobi and just hanging out and being together and really celebrating, focusing on what have we achieved. We want to have mastermind groups where we have, you can be in the hot seat. If you have a certain problem, people can put in their own 2 cents and let you know what they think. We can work it through. We want to have co-working hours where basically we're just on a Zoom call together. We have a Zoom bridge, you call that. And we're working on, I don't know, building our business or defining our ideal client or something that's the next step in our coaching business. And we never get the time for it because, well, in my job, I have a lot of people that depend on me. In my coaching business, the only person I'm letting down is myself, right? That's kind of the trap that we fall into. No, we want to commit to working together on this. Every person for themselves, but also we can talk about it, of course, but just to have that space where it's like, we expect you to show up. Yeah, you promised to be here at 4 o'clock, make it happen. Put the time in to work on your coaching business because we get more of what we pay attention to. So pay attention to your coaching business. And by having the others as accountability partners, if you will, by them expecting you, there's a much bigger likelihood that you will do that. Then let's eat with metal spoons. Let's benefit from some coaching. So I would like to take you through group coaching exercises. And you know a lot of them. Some of them you might not know. But again, if it's somebody else doing that for you and we're all together, there's also certain energy if we come together and we go through these exercises together. You can never go through a VBSI too often or through a mastery walk or something like that. So yeah, I think that's a valuable part of it as well. Then we want to have Art and Science of Coaching rewind and reflect sessions. So taking a certain part like a VBSI, like as if frames, and just really have a session, just focus on that so that you can be really confident with like, okay, I still know this tool. I know what to do with this. In my mind, we probably wouldn't practice it in that moment because if we practice it as part of like a learning, then it doesn't count for your coaching hours. If you then go afterwards and you practice what we just learned because it happens to fit the situation, then you can count it for your coaching hours. Yeah, so that we have that in mind. We want you to have access to affordable one-on-one coaching. And specifically, I'm not saying peer-to-peer coaching. I don't really want to go the route of I coach you and you coach me, nobody pays anything. Yeah. How can you expect somebody to pay you to coach them if you don't do it yourself, is my opinion. So my idea would be pick somebody else in the group to coach you and pay them for it. And that money will come back to you. Don't worry about that. We're going to have set rates for this where it's more focused on getting to your 100 hours to get to ACC rather than getting rich off of each other in the group. So I think that's important that we really live what we preach and we see coaching as something valuable that you put money on the line for, because then it works better. It's just, if you pay money for something, you automatically value it more. There was a social experiment once where they put a world-class violinist with a Stradivari. Yeah, one of the most expensive, like from the 1900s. One of the 150-year-old violin, regarded to have the best unsurpassed sound ever. And he was going to do a concert at night. in Carnegie Hall in New York. Yeah, and people paid thousands of dollars to be there and to watch the maestro play this amazing instrument. At noon, they put him in the subway station and put a hat in front to see what people would give him. He made like 75 cents, yeah, and $75,000 later on that day. If you don't pay for it, you don't pay attention to it, and you don't put any value on it. Yeah? So that's why I think money has to change hands for coaching to really, really work. So I want to incorporate that into the structure of what it is that we do here. Then, Nadia, do you remember these pictures here? Are any of these shoes yours by any chance?
I remember the entire experience, Fabian. It was mind-blowing.
I was going to put you here. I chose to put these instead because it really. So for everybody who doesn't know, who wasn't there this day, this is from our very first Ericsson cohort in Kenya, and then Nadia did our wonderful and amazing job at doing module 2. And this was our final day, and we did the mastery. We imagined ourselves being successful, being, being our best self, being in concentration, in momentum, in mastery. Okay, sorry, my mic is changing back and forth. I don't know what my AirPods are doing. I don't know even where they are. Here. Yeah, so I think back to that day really, really fondly. So that's what we want to do. Is we want to walk that mastery walk together. We want to step.
Something.
Yeah, Nadia, go.
Guys, White is so metaphorical and so strong here. There was a breeze in that day. Just like there are so many breezes in life that breeze was chasing those little notes, those little stages of growth and learning towards mastery out of the camera side. So people took their shoes off to put a weight on that stage to make it stick. And that's exactly what we are trying to achieve and create here. Commitment that sticks and leads to mastery. Thank you, Fabian, for choosing that one. It's touching.
Yeah, honestly, I could easily tear up because I look at all these pictures, us being together in person and everything. It's so gorgeous, especially in hindsight. And it's exactly that. It's exactly to really stand firm in that phase, right? And to not be blown away by the wind and maybe I don't get a client for a month or something, maybe I do something else. The worst thing we do is like start and stop all the time. But the compounding effect of when we build our business and we keep putting our attention on it all the time, as you saw here with this, that's why I showed you this. It's because automatically by being in a community like this, by checking in all the time, several times a week, you will put more attention on building your business, and it will happen. And it will actually be fun because you're sharing it, and we'll have challenges, leaderboards, prizes for, who gets the most clients this month, who gets the most coaching hours, that sort of thing. Obviously, if you haven't done Ericsson yet, we want to give you a discount if you're part of this, referral incentives, all that kind of thing. So if you bring your friends, even better for everybody. So what might that look like specifically? This is just kind of what 1 month might look like. So you might have the masterclass. The way that I want to do it is we would have one masterclass per month, which doesn't sound like much, but hear me out. We would have the masterclass on Tuesdays, for example, at the beginning of the week, where an expert shares on a certain topic and a certain subject, a lot of helpful hints, gives you challenges, gives you homework. Then for the next 2 days, you go and actually implement that homework. That's the actually important part, because ideas can be cheap. Like there's a lot of ideas out there, but actually doing with the work, that's the important part. So we do this together in our co-working hours. We do some group coaching around it. And then at the end of the month, the expert comes back. And by then you can really ask informed questions. If we do the Q&A right after, you hear the ideas, you say, oh, that sounds nice. And you ask 1 or 2 questions, but if you come back and you've tried it and then you ask the questions, I think that access to that expert will be much more valuable. Yeah. And then we have the in-person networking at the end. Throughout the weeks, we have prompts for you to reflect on what are your goals this week, what have you achieved this week, so some other things on where to put your attention. We have the rewind and reflect session some way through the month, because what I don't want to happen is this. Yeah, for you to try to drink from the fire hose. I don't want you to try to improve every aspect of your business all at once. Because if you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. Yeah. So that's why I want us to focus on one thing at a time. Bill Gates said, most people overestimate what they can get done in a year, but they wildly underestimate what they can get done in 10 years. Yeah. So what I want this to be is a community where we have all these different topics, all these different outcomes, but it's not a curriculum. It doesn't build on each other, except for one thing, one exception that I'm going to share with you in a moment. But it doesn't build on each other. I want this to be a community where you can come in at any moment and already get value from it, not have to feel like you have to catch up on the last half year and everybody else is so far ahead. Yeah, I want everybody to learn afresh each month and to kind of come at it with fresh eyes and to really master this one thing that we're talking about that month. The one exception is this one here, zooming in on your avatar, defining your niche, whatever you want to call it, finding your ideal client. That is something we have to have as a basis for everything else, because whatever is right for your business depends on what's right for your clients, for your ideal clients that give you joy, that give you energy, that give you money. Yeah, so we have to have that. So that's the first thing we'll be starting out with in the pilot, in the early access phase. Okay. Now I've been talking a lot. I want to open for questions in just a moment. But things like, look, using your voice with confidence might not sound like a super interesting topic right off the bat, but I already know who I'm going to get as an expert. I'm going to get a Canadian opera singer. And I've done some lessons with her. Learning to sing, and we don't all have to learn to sing, but taking a singing lesson transforms your life. Your confidence level goes from here to here. And she works with executives to tell them how they can use your voice, how do you use your breathing and that sort of thing. It's amazing, really. And I want to bring that to you. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Then coaching platforms like BetterUp. So if you have an ACC already, my goal for you would be to sign up to one or several of these coaching platforms, because they shovel clients your way. Right. And I already helped, we already talked yesterday with one interested person in this group to set up the BetterUp and to kind of see what's coming when. I want to work with you to set up your accounts there properly so that you know what to expect when, because you need a little bit of patience in the beginning, but I want you to have a steady income from that. Yeah. So in the beginning, if you don't have the ACC, we have the HR group that will be available for you to coach. You're not going to get rich off that. But there's going to be people, it's going to be collecting hours. Once you get the ACC, I think the focus should be on sign up to one of these platforms, get money coming in the door, get experience, really focus on value, get some stories to tell. And then from there, you start building your independent coaching business that is yours and yours alone. That is my vision. And then I also want to talk about offers that complement your coaching practice, because one-on-one coaching is nice, but you're still trading money for time. You still can only coach so many people in a week. Yeah. If you coach 8 clients in a day, you'll feel what you did in the evening. Yeah. So there's a glass ceiling there. And for some people that might be okay. They don't want any more than that. But let's get into group coaching, facilitating workshops, having masterminds and that sort of thing. Let's talk about creating your own podcast. Let's talk about participating or just being featured on other people's podcasts, how to position yourself as an expert and have people reach out to you that way. Let's talk about these things. It's not just about the one-on-one coaching. That's way too much in the box. There's so many things that you're good at and predestined for as a coach that I want to share with you. So that's like a high level overview. I don't have time to cram everything in here. And then also part of getting to your ACC is you need to have mentor coaching hours. Yeah. And mentor coaching is expensive. Yeah. It is expensive if you're not in this group and you don't have preferential access to our wonderful mentor coach, Nadia. Nadia, do you want to share a couple of sentences of what kind of the mentor coaching consists in, or what people can expect?
Well, for sure, they can expect to coach and coach and coach even more. And with each and every coaching conversation, to deep dive into integral understanding of the ICF coaching competencies, to really make it personal. The aim of the mentoring is to move from knowing to being coaching and finding your unique coaching style and owning it, which is also a way forward combined with a good niche of bonding with the right clients, the right for each and every one of us. So this is what, and of course we have a couple of people who went through the mentoring process. This year it's going to be a little bit different. Before, in the previous batches, I was preaching a little bit more than allowing for space for practice. And this year and onwards, it's proven and tested that actually we grow mostly when we actually face it and experience it in practice. So on the practical side, it's going to be each and every group mentoring session is going to consist of 2 coaching sessions of 20 minutes and then feedback on the ICF competencies.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. And of course, you can hire Nadia also separately, but if you're part of the community, she gives you a special discount. So yeah.
And thank you for that opportunity, Fabian.
Yeah, no, thank you. And honestly, just by working with you, people already make it like get their money back. So yeah.
And yeah, and it's always, you know, it on the other side, when we are the service provider, so to say, it's so much more meaningful. That's why I'm saying thank you to Fabian for coming up with this idea, for creating it in a communal way, for 2 reasons. First is the sense of belonging, and second is the sense of commitment and accountability. Because one of the huge bricks on the wall towards mastering coaching that I encountered from personal experience and watching others is the accountability part. Thank you, Fabian, for having such a holistic approach and solution.
Thank you. We've been wanting to do, just from my own personal experience, I've been wanting to do something like this for like 2 or 3 years, and it never happened because it always was like something else was not more important, but more urgent, right? And this year, I swept everything off my table and said, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is one of my 3 priorities, and that's it. And the other one is, you know, going and welcoming our second son into this world. So in terms of work priorities, it's one of 2 priorities. Yeah, so I'm going to put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this. We want you to be successful. And, you know, if you're a little cynical, just take it like this. We want you to be rich and happy so we can sell you more stuff. Okay? I want to make you successful so that you have more money to buy stuff from me. So believe me that I have a strong incentive for you to build a real coaching business. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to say heart blood, but that's like a German thing. In German, we say we put heart blood into it, and I really like that. Even though it sounds a little almost like violent, but anyway. So what does that mean? So we're having an early access phase. Yeah, we're starting the early access phase at February 22nd, and we start the real thing beginning of April. So the early access phase is about 6 weeks from February 22nd until 1st of April. It's basically a pilot. Okay. And we're talking about defining your niche, because that is what everybody has to have. I don't like the term defining a niche, but we will help you define your ideal client. That's what we're going to be doing during that time. And the expert in that time will be me, because I want to try some things out. I want to be able to give future experts really good advice on how to set things up for you. So I'm going to be doing it myself. So how to be part of the early access. And then I promise I'm going to open for questions. It's in the chat. There's a link there, which doesn't show up as a hyperlink. Sorry for that. Here it is. It's a Google form. Okay. So be part of the early access is 1,500 shillings, which I hope you'll agree is it's more than reasonable. It's kind of ridiculous. So 1,500 bob. Just go to the Google site, pay the money to the paybill number, put in the code, and then you're part of it. We only open up 15 spots for the pilot. Okay. And we'll be promoting this a bit more. So you have, like, if you do it today, you have a really good chance. The fee will be higher, of course, when the real thing starts. If you pay for the year, it breaks down to 2,500 bob per month. If you pay month over month, it's 3,500. Believe me, I wanted to make this a lot more expensive. Because there's so much value in this, but I wasn't allowed to. So yeah, I wanted to make this closer to $100, and I think it would still have been more than justified for the value that you're getting out of this. Yes, Jennifer, it is open to those outside of Kenya, but of course, like, we can't fly you in for the in-person network meetings and that sort of thing. But you're absolutely welcome. If you don't have M-Pesa, we'll figure out a way. Don't worry. We'll start using PayPal when we have the real thing. So we'll open that up for you. Munira, so it's a monthly membership model, right? But you have two options of paying. You can either pay month per month, which means you can quit every month and just walk away. If you want to have that flexibility, then you pay. It's the equivalent of about $31 per month. Yeah. If you say, no, I'm committed, I'm in this, I love this, I want to pay for the year ahead of time because I want to put this priority on it, I want to say I'm in it, then we want to honor that commitment by making it cheaper. So you would pay what breaks down to around about $22 per month. Yeah, but you would pay it all at once ahead of time. Okay. So USD equivalent is $31 more or less month over month, and $22 per month if you pay ahead of time. That is, I don't have the dollar value in my head right now. I don't want to say anything that's not true. I think it was like $420, something like that. Yes, exactly, Munira. Thank you. Michelle, could you talk about the time? What exactly can I help you? By the way, I thought it is a perfect picture for executive coaching because, you know, you're afraid of the guy when you look at him like this, and then anyway, you notice he's just a human. Anyway, time. You'll be getting, like, this is kind of what we're going for. We will be having the monthly themes, different theme every month, different focus. We'll be having weekly activities that you see here. And we have daily prompts and activities and leaderboards and that sort of thing. So there's something you can do every day if you want to. Obviously, if you don't have the time, you don't have to. Jennifer, the price does not include the mentor for ACC credentialing. The price includes a reduced fee for working with that mentor. So you still have to pay Nadia separately. But honestly, by being a part of the community, you receive a discount that almost, not quite, but almost pays for itself. Okay. I'm hearing somebody. Munira, did you want to come off mute? Did you want to say something?
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't know I'm on mute.
No, no worries. Great to hear your voice.
Okay. If we are not in Kenya, still we can be part of the group and we would get benefit because most of the things are going online, right?
Yes, correct. So the only thing that's really in person is going to be the networking event. But we have the ambition, we really want to make this an African community. We want this to span the entire continent, because we want to have more African coaches for Africa, right? Because there's enough Mzungus running around telling Africans what to do. And something that I'm really excited about that I didn't mention here, these art and science of coaching rewind and reflect sessions, we want that mostly to be taught by our local TAs. So Ses and Selma to start out with, so that they can already step into their shoes as facilitators, so that they can become full-fledged Ericsson facilitators faster and with more confidence. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll give some feedback. I'll chime in, but they are the ones doing the classes, so that we get a real African coaching school that deserves its name, let's say. Okay, Collins. So the 1500, that's a one-off to be part of the early access, to be part of the pilot, right? So there's no commitment after that automatically expires. With the 1500, you get to be part of the early access from 22nd of February to 1st of April. And then if you want to sign up to the real thing, you would have to sign up for that at the normal price. But the 1500 is just for early access, while we're setting up the infrastructure, while we're figuring some things out, maybe change some things around. You're here with us from the very beginning. You get a lot of personal attention because, not a lot of people have joined the party yet. There's only 15 people, so I can give you a lot of personal attention. So for doing that, we give you extra attention and a reduced price. That's the 1500 for the early access, and then the real thing starts in April. What other questions do you have? I know this was a lot of information. I get so giddy talking about this, honestly. Like, I couldn't sleep last night because I was so excited about talking to you about this today. Jennifer. Jennifer, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Is it just me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. I wasn't sure what happened. Yeah, so based on what you just said, the 22 times 12 is what we pay to be in for the initial, but after April, when you start properly, will there be extra payment, or the 22 times 12 puts us into that?
No. The 22 times 12 is, I'm committing, I want to be part of this for the first year, and I'm putting the money down ahead of time, and I'm saying all these 12 months, I'm part of it. Right. That would count from April now till next April. Right. Yeah. What's part for the early access? That is just 1500. So that's what, like $13 roundabout. Oh, okay. Because I wasn't sure what the 1500 shillings is in dollars. Okay, so there's 1500 and then the cost for the year. I get it. All right. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying. Thanks. Yeah, you can basically divide by 100 more or less. It's a little weaker right now, but I always do that. Susan. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Adrian. Thank you. Sorry, Fabian. Thank you for this initiative. For a moment, when I finished module 2, I asked myself, why don't we have such a thing? Because I felt like I was just left to my own. So I'm really excited about this. My question is, who is eligible? Probably I didn't get that right because I could hear ACC hours. What I personally don't have hours yet. I've just finished module 1 and 2, and doing module 3 and 4, which I'll be done in April. So, I mean, who is eligible for this? Probably I didn't get that point. Yeah. Clarify, so
everybody who has done at least one module of an ICF accredited coach training program is eligible. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you're not done yet. It doesn't matter if you come from another school, as long as it's an ACT program or at least an ACSTH program. So you have to be like a real coach or a coach in training, but we're super happy to support you as you are like fresh coming out of training, or even as you're still in the training. because I fully believe from session 6, session 7 of module 1 of Ericsson, you're ready to build your business. You're ready to go get clients. You don't have to wait any longer. So we want to help you and support you in that. The focus is going to be a little different. If you don't have an ACC yet, we really want to offer you the opportunity to coach people from our HR group. And again, you're not going to get rich off of that, but if you get like 3 hours per month out of a person, I mean, that's already great, right? If you don't have any hours collected so far, then those first 3 hours, they're really valuable, right? So if you get, let me just say a number, 2,400 bob or something for those 3 hours, which is ridiculous, but it gets you out there working with real people who pay you, even if it's not that much. Yeah. That already gets you started. If you have an ACC, that's not quite as attractive to you. So there, I want to help you by setting up your BetterUp profile, applying to them or Keras or whatever you want to do, so that you can get some money coming in. You can get a roster of 8, 10, 20 clients, however much you can handle. And then from there, we can think about, okay, so how do you build your own independent coaching practice? Because then you have that confidence, you have the money coming in, like, you know, it's a completely different ballgame at that point. So everybody's welcome as long as you have an ICF accredited education or are getting it. Yeah. Does it help, Susan?
Absolutely. For a moment, I thought I was not eligible, but no, it's very good to just know that.
Very eligible.
Yeah, and very excited just to emphasize. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Michelle. Michelle, any chance? There you go.
Hi.
Hi.
Just hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Just to clarify on my question on time, when would the activities and the master classes and the events be? Because I'm currently in module 3 and 4, and I can see some of my classmates here. So just to know what times these activities would help us plan and help us to commit.
Yeah, so I haven't, honestly, I haven't like figured it out to what time, when is it, at exactly what day. But what I want to do is I want to have enough activities so that some of the activities, we have them 8 a.m. Yeah, for people to do it before working. Some of the activities, we have it 12 a.m. like this one. Some of the activities, we have it 4 p.m., 5 p.m. So I want to make it enough activities to have enough of a spread where you can always participate in something. You will always get value out of it. And obviously there will be recordings. So I can't commit to a specific schedule right now because I also have to coordinate this group with the HR group. And I want to make it fair so that everybody gets something at noon, everybody gets something at 5 p.m. But my promise to you is there is enough to interact with that some of it will fit your schedule and the rest of it you can watch on demand.
Okay,
and then
cool.
plus you have different mastermind groups which you can join based on what time they should take place and stuff like that. Yeah, so believe me, there will be parts of this that you can participate in that will make it very much worth your while.
Okay, thank you. And then also, what is this HR group you keep mentioning? I didn't really understand.
So
maybe explain more.
Yeah, so it's a very similar concept, just focused on HR practitioners rather than, I don't know if you can see my screen changing on the different board. Oh, it has to load. So it's very similar concept. It's the sister group, if you will, but it's focused on HR experts because Rise and Learn is very much in the HR space. We have a lot of contacts, a lot of expertise in the HR space. And we know that a lot of coaches are also HR people that come from HR, right? So if you wanted to join the coaching group and the HR group, very welcome to do that. And you also get a discount so that the second one is a lot cheaper than the first one. So you can see the concept is very similar, but you get different benefits and it's all focused on HR. Here are the topics that we're planning on doing there. Yeah, so similar concept, different target audience.
Thank you.
I think I'm actually more confused than with the new information. I became confused of what HR was, meant. I thought, well, if like for me, I'm trying to I'll be gearing towards getting an ACC, and so our coaching hours are important at this point for me. Could you just address that answer to fit my needs?
Yes, absolutely. So you're looking for coaching hours, right? So besides all the things that we want to help you with like the mindset and attracting your ideal client and all of that, we want to also help you get more hours under your belt, practically.
Exactly.
So we have a pool of people that are available to coach for you, right? The thing is, we can't give any guarantees. Like we're not like modulating how many coaches we let in depending on how many HR people we have or anything like that. So it's not a guarantee, it's an opportunity. Like it's something that we want to make happen. But the payment, the agreeing on when you coach them, that sort of thing, that's between you and the client. Because I think it would get messy if we got involved, because then we would have to take a cut to make it worth our while. We don't want to take a cut. We want you to have the money that you gain. So we want to make it possible. We'll do our best in our power to get you at least one coaching client, and to set a schedule of maybe 3 times per month, so you can get like 3 hours or 1.5, or depending on how long you coach them. Probably, while we're at it, just coach them for an hour so that you can gain the hours, so that you can at least like have a baseline of gaining 3 hours per month, right? So that already every month you're getting 3% closer to your goal. That's all you need to know about the HR community for your specific case.
Okay, understood.
Thank you for asking. Anne, the limit of 15 people is only for the pilot, because in the pilot we want to build some things. We want to kind of be able to answer to everybody, give everybody attention, give everybody personal support. So we want to limit it to 15 people so that we don't get in over our heads. Once we have it all figured out, we can let in as many people as want to be part of this. Again, we want this to be an Pan-African community. So we're aiming to have the membership of this go into the hundreds at some point. Yeah. And it's not going to be cohort based. It's going to be everybody. Like, we're not limiting, like once the community opens in April, people can join all the time. We're not limiting it. We're not saying, okay, you have to join until June and then you can't join for another half a year or something like that. I want people to come into this every point and gain value out of it, and drop out if they don't feel like they get value out of it. But I think they will. Jennifer, great, awesome. Leave me your, maybe give me your email address in the chat, in a private chat, so we can work on making that happen. So we'll save your seat and we'll send you a PayPal thing. Yeah, so because you don't have M-Pesa. So just send me your email and we'll save that spot for you. Cool, thank you. Any other questions? Any other information I can confuse you with by giving you that information? Sorry, I know it's a lot. It's kind of complicated, but I think once you're in it, you'll understand. Once you're in it, it's one of those things, just like coaching exercises. If you hear about it, it's really complicated. Once somebody leads you through it and you go and do it, it becomes very natural. Munira, got it. Will do. Lucy, I will repost the pay bill number and the link where you. So first of all, you go to that link and it will have all the instructions there. And just to make that more, oh no, I think I just sent that to Munira, didn't I? Yes. No, I didn't. Yes. So anyway, follow that link so that you can see the pay bill number. It has all the instructions there. You send us the confirmation code and that secures your spot. There we are. Anything else? Did I miss anybody in the chat? Munira, I got you. I will get in touch with you. Yeah, Jacinta, you have PayPal, no? Or not? Not PayPal, M-Pesa.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. So you can just follow the link that's here in the chat, and it has all the instructions there. It should be pretty easy. There you go. I put the link there again. Anything else? Any questions where you're like, okay, I get the concept, but what is it like for me specifically? What about my case? Anything like that? I have another 7 minutes before I have a coaching session. I have, I think, 5 coaching sessions this afternoon. Just
So if we wanted to reach you, what would we, I mean, who would we talk to? Rise and Learn, through the office?
I think Fabian's dropped off. Did you want to answer the question about who we contact? Oh, he's coming back.
Hi, sorry, I was immediately punished for bragging. But I was just mentioning that because I want you to know that we know what we're talking about. My electricity is out. So you see my beautiful lights are off and everything. So I'm in with a hotspot. But yeah, sorry, anything else?
Yeah, Fabian, I just wanted, I mean, from further, in case, you know, a question pops up, whom do we reach? Is it Rise and Learn? Is it you? Is there a number for this specific venture?
Yeah, Rise and Learn. Emily, do we have like a specific? We could actually make a specific email address, maybe.
Yeah, it's a usual contact, guys. So this is the Rise and Learn community. The usual numbers that are there, and Catherine would be your point of contact.
So let me put her, let me put her email address in the chat. But yeah, I'm driving it. I'm kind of responsible for it. You can get in touch with me if you want. But if you want to go the official way, then you would contact Catherine. And I'll put her email address in the chat here. And I'll put mine in the chat as well. Mine is just my name at the same domain, Fabian. What else? There. Nadia, a question for you. Anne is curious, when is the soonest we can put together a mentoring group as we walk towards ACC? Love you picking up the metaphor there.
Good question. We haven't specified that. Probably we may have a special moment, Fabian, in one of those get-togethers to kind of align. I have an advice for those of you who are planning to go through the mentoring process. Make sure that you have at least 25 coaching sessions and you got yourself started. Because I've fortunately or unfortunately experienced some very devoted coaches who kind of go gradually from training to mentoring, but this is still on the part of learning how to coach. And sometimes we are using this as an excuse not to go out there and start actually coaching. So I'd rather say, let those of you who are considering accrediting with the ICF come with at least 25 coaching hours, and we'll get ourselves organized separately so that not to waste the time of the community here. And this might probably mean April earliest. How does that sound, Anne, as a response?
And that might sound like it's far away, but it's not. Again, we overestimate what we can get done in a year, and we underestimate what we can get done in 10 years. If you think about your future self, if you think back in 5 years and you building your successful coaching business, these 2 months and setting it up right, it doesn't matter. It's better to get it right and to come in at the right time, so that you have something to talk about and something to learn from, like Nadia is saying.
Yes.
I
What
really
I will do
point.
on my part, for those of you who are ready, because I'm seeing some of you are putting some great numbers as coaching hours already as private messages. Woohoo! I'm celebrating you. You are on an amazing path. And I really respect your commitment. So I'll be very specific. I'll come up with dates. I'll share them with Rise and Learn, and then you will have them from them, so that everything's organized, planned, and you could put it in your calendar together with this amazing initiative. Fabian, woo!
Thank you.
Kudos.
I'm glad it's not just me, but I'm so happy about this. You have no idea how much I'm skipping around the house, and it's like, yes, we're finally doing this.
Yes. Yeah, that's the whole point. Progressing together.
Yes, exactly. And to make it easy and fun, right? To tie it into the title. That's the whole point, is to make this fun along the way, because that will translate to how you show up for your clients. We cannot be desperate. We cannot run after clients. We need to come from a place of strength. And the best place to get to a place of strength is to come from a place of community. Lucy.
Thanks, Fabian. Nadia, oh, so nice to hear your voice once again. We never forget that you took us for module 1 and 2. And after we graduated from module 3 and 4, we sort of formed a group where we're doing peer coaching together. And I see some of my colleagues are here. And I think we've actually been having a conversation with Anna and other colleagues and asking how we get to you, because we might flood your page. We might flood you with our desires for mentor coaching. So it would be nice, because I know within our group there are a couple, we're trying to really sort of tell ourselves that we want to become ACC by the end of the year. So there's quite a bit of work that we're doing behind the scenes with the peer coaching. So we would really appreciate if you're able to share that with us, so that at least we're able to also schedule it. Yeah. So thank you so much, Nadia. We look forward.
Really, thank you very much. I really encourage you, avail on the opportunity that Fabian is offering here, because only through that opportunity you'll be able to avail on the really very special price for the mentoring. Of course, I'll be very transparent with all of you. Of course, I don't want to turn this conversation into conversation only about the mentoring part, because as I could see, it's much more, this initiative is much more on the sustainable part of building a business in coaching. But I'll give you all the details, the numbers, the trends, so that you could really see how combining those two opportunities is a great one-time deal for you guys. And I'll do this in writing so that it's also visual and you could make your decision. But your first step would be to go to Rise and Learn or Fabian and subscribe.
And honestly, I think having this first month, this early access, and really getting into who is your ideal client will help you get the most out of the mentor coaching.
My personal experience also, I'm part of a NGO community where we donate 4 hours of coaching sessions. And I've so far worked with 4 clients. Out of those 4 clients, 2 decided to continue as paid clients or my non-discounted real fees, and their organizations in one of the cases actually supported that, and the other was self-funded. But what I'm saying here, the opportunity to go out in the HR community and coach, I could guarantee you will return larger coaching projects for you. Because once people experience what coaching is and the benefit of being coached, they start thinking, oh, how can more people in my organization benefit from that?
Yeah, that's the hope. Guys, I
great...
have to leave. My client is waiting for me. Feel free to Nadia, feel free to keep going. I have to leave. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so lovely seeing you all. I hope to see you in the early access phase in the pilot. This will be amazing. Yeah, let's walk towards mastery together. Let's be successful together, and let's be the best coaches that we can be together. Thank you so much.
Greetings to you all from me as well. And yes, your number one step is complete this this subscription, and I will come to you shortly with the mentoring offer via Rise and Learn. Lovely to see you all, and I'm so very proud and happy that you are keeping up with the pace.
Thanks, Nadia, for being
Thanks,
here.
Nadia.
Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, Nadia. Thanks, Nadia. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Nice to hear your voice, Emily. Thank you so much for doing this. Bye.
Hey,
everyone.
Suzanne, Rosemary, hey, tuko ndani. Hey, Rispa. We can even, you know, we are all here. Gosh.
Lucy is the host now.
Yeah.
I have been muted. I thought the host muted me or something. Hey, but it's
Lucy,
nice
continue
to connect once
hosting.
again. It's so nice to
We're
connect
enjoying
with
you
guys.
being the host.
Rosemary, how are you, guy?
I'm good. Now we can say anything we want to say.
I'm telling you, in fact, I was thinking about you and
I have
Suzanne.
to leave.
I'm traveling up country or tomorrow. Now Sunday, I don't even know. Anyway, I'll let you know if I have good internet in the house at home.
Oh, you're going
We
up
see.
country?
I'm going up
sawa.
country to see my mother-in-law. So
okay, all right.
Internet is normally a big challenge there.
Okay, you let me know.
I'll let you know together with Suzanne. I think they've all left. Okay,
Yeah,
but you're
they've
good.
left.
Sawa.
I'm good.
I'll side chat you, and then we can.
Okay.
If I don't make it on Sunday, I'll definitely make it up for you in the course of the week for sure. Because I know it's
Okay,
you.
all right.
Is it me coaching you or whatever? We'll see how we can make it up.
Let me ask you, Lucy. When you have a number of like other clients lining up, how much do you charge?
Sasa si inalingana, but me I think I normally say I charge 15,000 per hour, kwani 10 to 15
per hour.
Per session.
How many individuals are willing to pay that?
No, you see, I haven't started charging that amount. I haven't gotten clients where I'm able to charge that amount, but I will definitely. You see, my coach tells me the way you frame is the way the market takes you.
Okay.
Nilikuwa nakwambia my coach huyu mwenye ananifanyia executive coaching aliniambia fee yake ni 750k and she doesn't have bring ata onada kushagia
$750.
Drakwira thao sadi.
Ai.
Yes.
Giri magana mugwanja.
Ma 50 please.
What do you mean?
Haiya ni haku kucheza earning money my friend. No ni gukuringana na riri na how you have positioned yourself.
Wow.
Ari program ametaka gold program. It's an executive business coaching. She takes you through the kwa jara ibwate guku kura charge 25. Mwari gwonde do icio mureka ku.
She's Kenyan.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Karutaga wera safari katiga ogwa kwa jona ti certified coach na accredited icio mutinda mukiuga.
By the way, no na andu a Safaricom ndigwiciria heo thiete thukuru. I met some two ladies. They are calling themselves coaching gamoria mathomeire ku.
wetinda ũkĩmoria hau na maranibia.
Imagine.
Ndĩrakwĩra kairĩtu kau getagwo Betty Mwaura. I am, and she's a young girl. Yeah, but she's younger than me. And
Yes.
but so her, she does not charge those small little fees. No. Asha, akwĩraga by the way akũheaga pay card, like etagwo atia card, credit card yake.
$750. But that is on the high side.
No, but the value that you also get is great, because I can tell you, for example, Nuana, you see, I told you I did my, I don't know if it was you I was telling, I did my online course and I packaged my online course. Now I paid 75K to go and attend that course for and it was 2 days. I paid 75K to go and attend that, how to do an online course. I did my online course, right? Now I am going to automate it. So I don't have to, it's going to be automated. Modo adhikiriria do a masterclass na do aigua ni akwenda kugura akagura. You see, so it is in terms of value, I get that. For me, I have not, like, if I have paid, kothi ĩno kaĩ tũrarĩhire mbia cigana ĩno ya ĩno tũrakire.
It was quite something.
It was more than half them, isn't it?
Yes.
From module 1 to 4. You see?
Yes.
Why am I paying? I am paying because it is giving me a skill that is for life. Now, for me, who has made costly financial mistakes, jumping from one business to another, not knowing what to do, I would rather pay that money and be guided. Guide wega to get that structure biashara in a maguru. And I am telling you, based on the guidance that girl gives me, because even we you know, I mean, I will recover that money. Easy busy, I will.
Oh.
Yes, I will. And it's not at it's a long, it's like it's support. Okay, she gives you support for about 6 months or so, but you remain in her. I mean, there's a lot to learn from her. A lot.
Oh, nice. Now,
So
she has not done any coaching. She's self-taught.
Wajona ti nyamũ ici mwĩtaga coaching cia gũtinda mũkĩũria what else. Nĩ akũngaidi kũrĩa ũbataire gũkorwo ũgĩthiĩ. Cut the crap. Yeah, what else?
But let me tell you, you know, listen, I also find this coaching overstructured, whatever we were taught.
I know. In fact, the daddy hanya mweno. No ndiye kĩrĩa gĩatũma ndĩhe nĩgetha ngorwo na discounted rate ya mentoring. Ya mentor coaching.
But that thing
is structure. I was actually talking to Rispa this morning, and I was telling her, niye tamakani hakiri ciakwa iti ona ngĩthiĩ into a coaching session. Ndianjagĩrĩria kwĩyũria, now which tool do I use? Now which one do I pull out? No.
I know.
I want to be easy in the process. Tondũ rĩu ndanjia kwĩyũria which tool, rĩu nĩ master woko tũkwoko. Rĩu anga nĩ ndũĩ.
Can I say it like and then what's what I've realized, if you get stuck with the structures and the procedures, you won't grow.
You won't grow, it's true. In fact, can I tell you, this morning I was sharing with Rispa. I was telling her the other day, the day before yesterday, I slept feeling very sad because I went to the ICF website. I had never, I joined ICF. I had never done their induction video. So I went to the webinar, the induction webinar, and I listened. I was like, this is too much structure. Will I hack this thing? Do I even want to go into this accreditation process? Is it even necessary? Then I said, then now, so I spoke to, there's another platform I attended, and even Fabian was there. Even Rispa was there, the one I was sharing in the group.
Yeah.
A similar one like what is being shared here, but now there you pay $50. So I said, let me call someone who has been through this accreditation process, and niambie whether what I am feeling is too structured. So a lady called Irene, she's a PCC. She's a PCC. She has her own coaching school that is accredited by ICF and all that. So where Stephen you try introduced in the group where he did his coaching training. So I called her yesterday and I told her I really need a day for up. Nitajira nyamuno mure ya accreditation no ginya. What is this now? Am I getting into some waters where I cannot manage? But then she told me, no, forget about what they have said there. Just accumulate your hours. It's not difficult. I mean, log in your hours as you keep coaching, log them in. And then if you get into mentor coach, you just, in any case, the mentor coaching, how it is, it's about helping you to become Nadia Kugaga, becoming from the knowledge to being with respect to the ICF code. Those so I think so they give you those 10 mentorship, whatever is for you to be able to really hone into that whole thing. Let me do it. It's never that serious. It's okay. So if Nadia is able to give us a discounted rate, that's okay. And then I was talking to Rispa this morning, and she was telling me, thirikari niraja kurehe uhoro wa mentorship na coaching ikamekera kugu kwa contracting do. So with time it's going to become,
this year we had it in the performance contract.
So with time I think it's going to become more prominent. So if also we want mawera ma corporate organizations, increasingly they're going to be asking, are you a trained coach? Are you certified? Are you accredited? Are you credentialed? All those. So I said, okay, let me put in the hours. Let me do what needs to be done, because in fact, I told myself, what are the other things I have done that were boxing? I did my master's. This is walkover. I'll do it. It's not a problem.
That is true.
So clients charge. I'm not particularly in a hurry, because I really want to package myself properly. I really want to be, kumenya nigetha mundu ayoka kuri nie akamenya even in the development of the rate card and what have you. Now that's what my coach is going to be we're going to be working step by step in terms of now really establishing the business. Now business, you see, now we are looking at the business of my coaching business, my speaking business, whatever. Just how I brand, how I position, how I set up the business structure, all those things. It's quite some work, because setting up as who I am employed to go set up biashara muno.
Of course, it's
true.
And then you start now seeing yourself as doing it full time.
Yeah, so for me to prepare it to be full time, I said, okay, it's all right. It's an investment, and knowledge is always an investment anyway. And because I want to do it for the long haul, even what I'm able to do right now, to ideas I mean, I find them of real great value. Niche, even establishing my niche, she's the one who guided me around it. What else? Say, darora haha ndirona weri kotangiko no nyamu icio cia what else tukania.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny, because but I feel exactly that. Me, I have a problem.
I think you have to think about the approach for mentorship, and that is why for me I decided I'll create an online course, because within my online course, because I'll be able to do team coaching. Now there I can be more of a mentor, Then go coaching remain within the code of principles. What else?
My dear. You talk on. We'll talk maybe tomorrow. You let me know.
Because I'll let you know. I'll find if I can be able to find a spot that has good internet. I'll just look for it. If we don't I am really trusting that we do, because I don't want us to also push it too far. So let's see what I can be able to do. Hey, na my mother-in-law how nakurugirwa mashai na do. Anyway, tutajua tu. We'll see.
Okay, all right. Okay, thanks.
Aya.
Okay, bye.
Jan, Abby. Okay, bye. Abby. Hey, my dear. Hebu kuja.